The British Museum houses one of the world's most comprehensive collections of ethnographic material from Africa, Oceania and the Americas, representing the cultures of indigenous peoples throughout the world. Over 350,000 objects spanning thousands of years tells the history of mankind from 3 major continents and many rich and diverse cultures. The collecting of modern artifacts is ongoing. Many individuals have added to the department's collection over the years, but those assembled by Henry Christie, Harry Beasley and William Oldham are outstanding. Quote, "Objects from this department are mostly on display in several galleries on the ground and lower floors. Gallery 24 displays ethnographic from every continent, while adjacent galleries focus on North America and Mexico. A long suite of rooms. Gallery 25. On the lower floor display African art. There are plans in place to develop permanent galleries for showcasing art from Oceania and South America. Africa. The Sainsbury African Galleries display 600 objects from the greatest permanent collection of African arts and culture in the world. The 3 permanent galleries provide a substantial exhibition space for the museum's African collection comprising over 200,000 objects. A curatorial scope that encompasses both archaeological and contemporary material, including both unique masterpieces of artistry and objects of everyday life. A great addition was material amassed by Sir Henry Wellcome, which was donated by the Wellcome Historical Medical Museum in 1954. Quote, "Highlights of the African collection include objects found at megalithic circles in the Gambia, a dozen exquisite Afro-Portuguese ivories, a series of soapstone figures from the Kissi people in Sierra Leone and Liberia, hoard of bronze crew currency rings from the Sino River in Liberia, Asante goldwork and regalia from Ghana including the Bowditch collection, the rare Akan drum from the same region in West Africa, pair of door panels and lintel from the palace at Akere Akiti in Yorubaland, the Benin and Igbo Akwu bronze sculptures, the beautiful bronze head of Queen Idia, a magnificent brass head of a Yoruba ruler and quartz throne from Ife, a similar terracotta head from a Winran grove near Ife, the Apapa hoard from Lagos and other medieval bronze hoards from Alabia and the Forsados River in southern Nigeria. Included is an Ikem monolith from Cross River State, several ancestral screens from the Kalabari tribe in the Niger Delta, the Torde collection of Central African sculpture, textiles and weaponry from the Cuba Kingdom including 3 royal figures, the unique Luzira head from Uganda, processional crosses and other ecclesiastical and royal material from Gondar and Magdala, Ethiopia following the British expedition to Abyssinia, excavated objects from Great Zimbabwe. That includes a unique soapstone, anthropomorphic figure, and satellite towns such as Mutare including a large hoard of Iron Age soapstone figures, a rare divining bowl from the Venda peoples and cave paintings and petroglyphs from South Africa. Oceania. The British Museum's oceanic collections originate from the vast area of the Pacific Ocean, stretching from Papua New Guinea to Easter Island, from New Zealand to Hawaii. The 3 main anthropological groups represented in the collection are Polynesia, Melanesia and Micronesia. Aboriginal art from Australia is considered separately in its own right. Metal working was not indigenous to Oceania before Europeans arrived, so many of the artifacts from the collection are made from stone, shell, bone and bamboo. Prehistoric objects from the region include a bird-shaped pestle and a group of stone mortars from Papua New Guinea. The British Museum is fortunate in having some of the earliest oceanic and Pacific collections. many of which were put together by members of Cook's and Vancouver's expeditions or by colonial administrators and explorers such as Sir George Grey, Sir Frederick Broome, Joseph Bradshaw, Robert Christison, Gregory Matthews, Frederick Meinertzhagen, Thomas Mitchell and Arthur Gordon. Before Western culture significantly impacted on indigenous cultures, the department has also benefited greatly from the legacy of pioneering anthropologists such as A.C. Haddon, Bronislaw Malinowski and Catherine Routledge. An artifact is a wooden Aboriginal shield, probably dating from the late 18th century. There is some debate as to whether this shield was found at Botany Bay or, given the nature of the wood being red mangrove which grows abundantly only 500 kilometers north of Botany Bay, possibly obtained through trade networks or at an entirely different location. The Wilson Cabinet of Curiosities from Palau is an example of pre-contact wear. Another outstanding exemplar is the mourner's dress from Tahiti given to Cook on his second voyage, one of only 10 in existence. In the collection is a large war canoe from the island of Vella Lavella in the Solomon Islands, one of the last ever to be built in the archipelago. The Maori collection is the finest outside New Zealand with many intricately carved wooden and jade objects, and the Aboriginal art collection is distinguished by its wide range of bark paintings, including 2 very early bark etchings collected by John Hunter Kerr. A particularly important group of objects was purchased from the London Missionary Society in 1911. That includes the unique statue of Aa from Rurutu Island, the rare idol from the Isle of Mangareva and the Cook Islands deity figure. Other highlights include the huge Hawaiian statue of Ku Kaili Moku, or God of War, one of 3 extant in the world, and the famous Easter Island statues Hoa Hakananaya and Moai Hava. Quote, Americas. The Americas collection mainly consists of 19th and 20th century items, although the Paracas, Moche, Inca, Maya, Aztec, Taino and other early cultures are well represented. The Kayung totem pole, which was made in the late 19th century on Haida Gwaii, dominates the Great Court and provides a fitting introduction to this very wide-ranging collection that stretches from the very north of the North American continent, where the Inuit population has lived for centuries, to the tip of South America, where indigenous tribes have long thrived in Patagonia. Highlights of the collection include Aboriginal, Canadian and Native American objects from North America collected by the 5th Earl of Lonsdale, the Marquess of Lorne, the explorer David Haig Thomas and Brian Mullen Fee, Mayor of St. Louis, the Squire and Davis collection of prehistoric mound relics from North America, 2 carved stone bowls in the form of a seated human figure made by ancient Northwest Coast peoples from British Columbia, the headdress of Chief Yellow Calf from the Arapaho tribe in Wyoming, a lidded river cane basket from South Carolina, and the earliest historic example of Cherokee basketry, a selection of pottery vessels found in prehistoric dwellings at Mesa Verde and Casas Grande, one of the enigmatic crystal skulls of unknown origin, a collection of 9 turquoise Aztec mosaics from Mexico, the largest in Europe. Important artifacts from Teotihuacan and Isla de Sacrificios. There are several rare pre-Columbian manuscripts, including the Codex Xuxnutl and Codex Wacagota, and post-colonial ones such as the Codex Orban and Codex Kingsborough. A spectacular series of Mayan lintels from Yaxchilan excavated by the British Mayanist Alfred Maudsley. A very high-quality Mayan collection that includes sculptures from Copan, Tikal, Tulum, Pusilla, Naranjo and Nebai, including the celebrated Fenton vase. an ornate calcite vase with jaguar handles from the Ulua Valley in Honduras. The Lord Moyne collection from the Bay Islands, Honduras, and Boyle collection from Nicaragua. Over 20 stone metits with zoomorphic and anthropomorphic ornamentation from Costa Rica. A group of Zemi figures from Veer, Jamaica, and wooden dujos from the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. There are a collection of pre-Columbian human mummies from sites across South America including Ancon, Acaray, Arica and Leyva. A number of prestigious pre-Columbian gold and votive objects from Colombia. 3 axe-shaped gold diadems found near Cumanor from the Siguas culture in Peru. Unique collection of moche wooden figures and staffs from the Macabí Islands off Peru. Ethnographic objects from across the Amazon region including the Schomburg and Maybury Lewis collections and part of the von Martius and von Spix collection. 2 rare Tiwanaku pottery vessels from Lake Titicaca and important items from Tierra del Fuego. Donated by Commander Philip Parker King.